Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Well, the Supreme Court has heard a Mornington man believed he faced imminent attack when he committed manslaughter in an October 2020 incident. The claim made during sentencing submissions today, with Caleb Adams already entering a guilty plea to manslaughter. Reporter Josh Duggan has more.
Alleging threats and taunts, the Supreme Court has today heard of the neighbourhood warfare that preceded the October 2020 death of Ashton Jones. Caleb Adams has pled guilty to manslaughter in the Mornington units where they both lived. 3 days earlier, Adams had assaulted a third resident, Rodney Ayres, for which he also today entered a guilty plea. Adams' lawyer Rochelle Mannering told the court Adams received threats of retribution from an associate of Mr Ayres over the following days, including a threat to, quote, burn him out. When Adams spotted an intruder, Mr Jones, climbing through his kitchen window in the early hours of October 12, he grabbed a kitchen knife and swung it into the intruder's neck. Ms Mannering said the 34-year-old believed he was facing imminent attack from Mr Ayres' associate, adding that the right to feel safe in his own home had been systematically eroded, causing this gross overreaction. Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Linda Mason argued that Adams' escalation in the prior incident demonstrated a pattern, with Adams also battling substance abuse. Acting Justice Porter will hand down his sentence later this month.
Well, still on court matters, and an arrest warrant has been issued for a well-known Tasmanian Aboriginal elder who failed to front a magistrate's court this morning on trespass charges. Uncle Jim Everett, Purulia Minamata, was arrested in March while protesting native logging in the Styx Valley. On the weekend, he told a newspaper he had no intention of facing court because he doesn't recognise what he's called the colonial court system.
I salute his bravery, I salute his courage, his intelligence and his stand for Indigenous people in this country and right around the planet.
The Bob Brown Foundation says Everett plans to return to the Styx Valley this spring. A 66-year-old Tranmere woman will front a Hobart magistrate in August, charged with common assault after an incident at the Playhouse Theatre last weekend. 7 Tasmania News understands a Deborah Conway concert was interrupted by pro-Palestine activists. Phone vision shows a woman appearing to smash a glass before pointing it at one of the protesters. A statement from the group says the non-violent action was in solidarity with Palestine. An overnight fire has ripped through a large shed on the outskirts of Launceston. 7 crews were called to the St Leonard's property around 4 a.m, with efforts to contain the blaze made more difficult due to flammable materials inside the building. Fire investigators will return to the scene with thermal cameras this evening to try and determine the cause. No injuries were reported. The latest contingent of Aussie ambassadors is about to jet off from Tasmania to the USA. Unlike the usual diplomatic appointments, there are no retired politicians among the group, and they will be caged on the flight for everyone's safety.
Meet Mozza. She's about to venture across the Pacific. One of 8 Devil ambassadors handed the vital role of bolstering Tasmanian-US relations.
It's so important that people are talking about Tasmania, talking about the Tasmanian Devil and contributing to the research.
A delegation travelling down under from Toledo Zoo in Ohio to collect the ambassadors. 2 of them will join a couple of devils already calling Toledo home. The others will head to 3 other American zoos.
We love telling the story of the conservation work that the Tasmanian government has done to really save this species from the brink of what could have been extinction.
Spreading the word about the unique animals. Warner Brothers lawyers aren't the only ones who think it's just a cartoon character.
It's really funny when you do talk to somebody who might not know that that was a real animal, and we pride ourselves on telling the story. Not only is it a real animal, it's one of the most tenacious, endearing, charismatic animals you could ever imagine.
These are the crates that'll take the devils to the United States. They've been custom made to keep them safe, secure, and most importantly, comfortable for the long flight.
It's got a way for us to feed them and water them without actually them having to leave the enclosure. Every stop we make, we'll be able to see the animals and make sure just sort of that everything's going well.
Toledo Zoo's already been involved in research and conservation efforts with the devils, but they won't be breeding.
This is purely an education program, not only on the species but the plights that they face and the conservation efforts that are going into saving the Tasmanian devil.
They're due to fly out tomorrow. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
An intricate mission to hand over tons of essential supplies to workers at Mawson Station in Antarctica has gone off without a hitch. The goods unable to be delivered via land or sea, meaning there was just one way left to do it.
30 parachutes descending from the air.
That is amazing!
15 tonnes of vital goods arriving for expeditioners living at Mawson Station in Antarctica.
This mission is showing how the ADF can transport cargo over vast distances in challenging environments.
Hobart's Cargo and Biosecurity Centre playing a crucial role in the operation, the home of the packages before they were fit to fly.
We're sending everything. So we are sending mechanical and electrical supplies, we're sending food, we are sending personal cargo.
The RAF C-17 Globemaster departing Hobart Airport last week. The 10,000-kilometre mission now complete, travelling via Western Australia before touching down at the station. The distance so far, the aircraft was refuelled mid-flight.
We are conducting the air-to-air refuelling so that we can get our extended range. The total mission length, we're looking at about 14 hours and a little over 10,000 kilometre round trip.
The supplies coming just in time for the winter season, providing some warmth and comfort ahead of a chilly few months. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
A man remains in a critical condition after a house fire in the Hobart CBD. He was taken to hospital by paramedics and treated for burns after being caught in the blaze yesterday. Police say the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but they do know it started on a mattress in a bedroom. It caused $350,000 worth of damage, with the unit destroyed and wall cavity damage throughout the building. A much-loved AFL mascot has made a flying stop at a Tasmanian school, this time bringing books instead of footballs. The Hawthorn Football Club's visit encouraging young students and the local community to share in a love of reading.
A morning story time with a little extra star power. Hawker swapping the footy field for the reading corner.
He came from Melbourne because that's where football players play.
The fan favourite stopping by Ravenswood Heights Primary School, lending a listening ear from the wings.
But it wasn't easy. Sam seemed to be everywhere.
His visit encouraging eager students to make a love of reading the goal.
Having a sporting role model for them, our goal really is to develop a love of reading as a building block for life.
Hawkers landing some special recognition for these junior bookworms, celebrating reading growth in and out of the classroom.
That link between reading, school and home. And so this is another way of connecting with the community, really just amplifying the profile of reading.
Spare some time to develop that love and engage with the kids to make sure that they love reading.
An excitement boost for young readers, spruiking their love of all things books.
I like how it exercises our brain, makes us really smart, so that's how we read and learn and makes us real smart.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian school students enjoyed a special morning tea with the Governor for a good cause. It's part of the Be Kinder Day movement, encouraging young people to be more courteous to each other.
Spreading kindness one letter at a time. In an initiative led by Be Kinder Foundation, students put pen to paper, sharing thoughtful messages with their classmates today.
I wrote to my friend Millie because she is just always trying to cheer people up if they are sad.
It's aimed at helping students make a difference in their school and community, encouraging young people to learn about the importance of kindness, empathy and compassion.
It's really about people thinking of others, connecting and writing something kind or inspirational to somebody that they care about, or even, a stranger.
Hoping to boost well-being, self-esteem and a sense of belonging from a young age.
It's very important to start at a very young age to talk about kindness and to be considerate and think about others rather than themselves.
A small gesture can have a huge impact on someone's day.
It can make people feel a lot better with what's happening in the world right now.
While also a chance for students to express their emotions through words, especially for those who struggle to talk about their feelings.
Like writing, and I think sometimes for some people it's a bit hard to use words. So if you write in a card, it's a lot easier for people to understand.
Since the foundation's launch 6 years ago, over 120,000 cards have been sent around the world, with hopes this number will grow.
Millions and millions.
Rebecca Gadineris, 7 Tasmania News.
A mystery Tasmanian is walking around unaware of their newfound fortune after winning a share of Saturday's $1 million Tats Lotto draw. The ticket was purchased at Derwent Park News Agency.
We don't know who they are because the ticket wasn't registered, so we know it was bought here.
Customers are encouraged to check their tickets. An empty shopfront in Launceston city centre has found new life as a lounge room for the public. Offering music, art and games, the initiative is an attempt to lure shoppers into the CBD during the leaner winter months.
When the temperature drops, spending time in town might not be top of mind. But Launceston's new lounge is offering a cosy space to beat the chill.
Winter's got this drab kind of feeling about it, so let's put something in the city that will welcoming and a place where people can sit and relax.
Taking over an empty shop and bringing the living room to the city centre.
Everybody's so excited about the fact that there's somewhere to come and hang that doesn't necessarily cost them money.
Local businesses banding together to breathe new life into the space.
I think all the lovely colours and everything make it very inviting, hopefully inspire people to stay.
Not just a home away from home for city workers looking for a lunch spot. Organisers have been inundated with groups wanting to use the space.
There's a band that's going to rehearse in here and is happy for people to come and join in. We've got people doing origami, people showing you how to edit photos just because they love doing it.
Music lovers can also try out a new instrument, with Barrett's loaning some of its own gear.
But we're sort of hoping people who don't even play will just come in and pick a thing up and, how does this work? And just have some fun.
As cost of living pressures continue to bite, it's hoped the project will keep people coming into the city.
If we're just leaving lots of empty shops, we know that looks horrible. We're walking past and it's a bit depressing and then you don't want to come to town. We need to stop that cycle.
The lounge runs for the next 2 months. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Lauderdale's looking to a 68-point win as a sign their season's on the up, and doing so in the skipper's 150th game, no less. Now, Franklin playing a big role in the Southern Bombers' first win in 3 weeks, but they need to keep the W's coming, starting with the Blues this weekend.
Pleased with how I'm going this year, and hopefully we can start, building on what we've done the last few weeks and keep this brand going and get a few more wins.
Only 2 votes for naming the Crips Player of the Year this week. Teammate Hayden Smith takes top billing for the second time. Noah Holmes takes the 3 for Clarence after their huge win over Launceston. And top votes for North Launceston's Michael Stengel from their win over the Demons. The Northwest women are within arm's reach of fresh All-Stars glory, but first they'll need to tame the reigning title holders, preparing to face the South's best players while still on a high from a thrilling 2-point victory over the NTFA on home turf in Penguin.
There's still things that we can do before this weekend, but I really think we can get the trophy back.
In just 4 years, the Northwest has won the statewide All-Star Series twice. With a late surge just before the final bell, King Island runner Stuart McSwain was seemingly in the driver's seat in the 3,000 metres at World Athletics Diamond League meet. But he wasn't the only one putting the foot down. Norwegian Narve Nordas trouncing the pack with a personal best. McSwain finishing 7th with his best time of the season. Hurricane Riley Meredith is buying into the name of the UK's T20 Blast, sending stumps rocketing through the air while bowling for Somerset. He's taking 3 scalps from his 4-over spell, but it wasn't enough. Surrey getting the better of them thanks to fellow Aussie Sean Abbott, taking 3 for just 8 runs. And with Boomers and Olympic selection on his mind, the rumour mill is swirling with talk Will Magnay is reportedly fielding interest from 5 NBA clubs. If it does happen, it would be his second foray to the States, having been contracted to the Pelicans before heading to Tasmania. Yes, certainly not what Jackie's bosses would want to see, Kim, but the good news is he is contracted here until 2026.
OK, yeah, a great opportunity for him, but we love him here. Thank you, Nick. Kaya Wicks will join us after the break with a weather forecast.
Good evening. Hobart 13 today, Launceston and Burnie 16, 17 the top in Devonport. 18 the state's high recorded at Scottsdale, Flinders Island and Wynyard 16, Low Head, St Helens and Friendly Beaches all 15. 14 the maximum for King Island and Marai Island, Bushy Park and Strawn 13, Grove 10, Lyweenie 6 degrees. Extensive low cloud is seen here about the south and east of Tasmania, with areas of low cloud elsewhere. A broad cloud band lies over the Tasman Sea associated with a surface pressure trough. Tomorrow a low and trough will pass to the east of Tasmania. A ridge of high pressure will move over the state throughout the day. South to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, reaching 30 knots about the north and the east, with southwesterly swells building up to 3 metres. The Bureau have issued a strong wind warning for waters between Stanley to Wineglass Bay. There is also a minor flood warning for St Paul's River. Tomorrow, a shower or two for our state's capital, Hobart 16, wet also in Adventure Bay on Bruny 15, increasing showers for Tarraleah 13 the maximum. Launceston partly cloudy 18, sunshine returns to Devonport and Bridport 18 also the top there. Fine and sunny in Burnie 17, showers likely in Strawn 13, a high chance of rain for Marrawar 14. Showers easing in St Helens 17 and a shower or two for Swansea, and much the same for Whitemark, they're chasing 16 degrees. As we look now to the midweek forecast for Wednesday, showers about the west, south and Bass Strait Islands, conditions fine otherwise, but those south to southwesterly winds will hang around. Thursday, light showers about the south and east with grey skies likely statewide. Friday, isolated showers about the east will reach mid to high teens across most parts of the state. To mainland capitals now. A morning frost forecast for Canberra, just 13 there. Perth and Brisbane 21, partly cloudy in Melbourne 14. A little warmer in Sydney with a fine and sunny 19 degrees. Mostly cloudy about the state right now. Hobart 14, Launceston 13 and Devonport 12. And that's all in weather this Monday night, Kim.
And that is all your news for now. We'll have updates throughout the evening. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.